Who said that rap was for the young? Rap is a style of performing music. Who said it was for the young? Even the poets of old were old. So that tells me that there's another master plan that's taking place. And I figured out what it is. You know that old serpent of old, the one we call Lucifer, that was kicked out of heaven. Some would refer to him as Satan. He's the same old deceiver. And so when we look at the rap industry in this generation, it started out from poetry, from poems. And that's all it is poems put to music. And so when we look at the world and the influence of Satan against the world, society has voted that rap is no longer a game for the old, but for the young. You would see it on a movie where they make fun of guys who say they 40 years old and they rap and they're coming out with a rap CD or they're trying to rap. That's how the devil is subtle to say that the older men don't have any business in the rap game. But you see, that's the trick of the devil. You see, because once those old guys were young, and so they were young and they were rapping and this and that, and they learned through time and they became wise. The Bible says that God calls them old because they're wise and young because they're strong. So what the devil do, he take them while they're young, strong, and dumb. And he exploit them like he's using them right now in society to matriculate or to perpetrate wickedness and unrighteousness. Talking about killing, cussing, stealing, robbing, beating, raping, murdering, and yet and still they say that it's a young man's game, not an old man's game. But this is the trick of the devil. Let's take the old men voice away. Because they're wise now. You see, they've been through something, that foolishness they may have talked about when they were younger. They've learned something through life that they can add to the younger generation to make them wiser earlier. But the devil said, let's separate them. Because if they get back on the mic and start rapping and telling this younger generation how it's all a game, how it's nothing but foolishness, how it'll lead you astray and destroy homes and destroy families. If the older rappers come back and start telling the truth of the wisdom they're gained, then the devil will lose his foothold on the young rappers that's out there talking about killing and stealing, matriculating, raping, and talking about sex in every form and shape and fashion. I want you to know that we serve a God, a good God, a righteous God, but the devil has a hold on the youth. And I'm telling you, his hold is in the music. That's why he don't want you to listen to the old rappers no more. He don't want them to be in the game. So now he lead them into movies. See, Ice Cube then was talking something because they disrespected the police. So they said, the devil said, okay, they're creating chaos. Well, let's transform them because they're growing up now. They're getting stupid. They did some evil stuff when they were young and screw the police and disobey authority and this and that. So now when they get older, we're gonna take them and put them in the movies and in the other industry so they no longer have a voice. They done corrupted enough young men and women in their youth. Now let's take them out of that situation. Now they're wiser. We don't want them to speak back to the youth. Or we'll use them in our advertisement and say no to drugs. But I was the biggest advocate for smoking and drinking. So now you're calling me a hypocrite because I'm no longer in the game. I'm no longer in the rap industry. The devil has the blinders on this world and on society, and we are confused and lost. Hear me, people. The rap game is nothing but poetry. And the first poets were old poets. These old men that rapped still have a voice. All you're doing is putting it to music. Let these old rappers share the wisdom that they've experienced and gained over life to help win this generation of young lost men and women, boys and girls, back on a righteous path where they can learn from their errors, where they don't have to follow the same poisonous path the forerunners led. Where they can learn early and maybe even spare your child from ending up in the streets on drugs, getting murdered.